Hello viewers, welcome back to the channel. So today let's look at this question from mathematics paper 1 on the topic of functions. So this is 2025 question 16. So the question reads, the functions f and g are defined as f of x is equal to 2x plus 1 and g of x is equal to 3 over x minus 2 where x is not equal to 2. Then question A, find f inverse of x. Find f inverse of x. Alright, so we've been given the two functions. F of x is equal to 2x plus 1 and g of x is equal to 3 over x minus 2. So question A rather, is asking us to find f inverse of x. So the function of f is this. So one thing that you should know, simple steps to follow when finding the inverse. You get this function f of x because that's the one they are asking about. You let the g of x alone. Then when you get this f of x, to find the inverse, step 1, replace f of x with y. Okay? Replace f of x with what? With y. So you say let f of x is equal to y. Then you say, since f of x is now equal to 1, we replace this f of x with what? With y. So we are going to have y is equal to 2x plus 1. This is the first step. Then when you make y the subject of the equation, what you do now, you change. When you replace f of x with y, now you make x the subject of the what? Of the equation. Meaning whatever is here, you bring it on the other side. Then you make x the subject of the what? Of the equation. So since we have positive 1 here, we are going to take it the other side and it will become negative 1. So we are going to have y minus 1. This one, it is this positive which has come this side, and it's going to be, we are going to remain with 2x this side. Okay? Since we want to make x the subject of the equation, we are going to divide everything that is with x. In this case it's 2. We are going to say over 2 here, even this side over 2. Then this 2 cancels with the 2 here. It means we are going to remain with x here. So it's going to be, here we are going to remain with x. Yes, and here we are going to have y minus 1 over 2. This is same as starting with x. X is equal to y, everything here, minus 1 over 2. This and this is same. Okay? When you make x the subject of the formula, the next step that you should take now, ensure that you replace y with x. This is the last step. You replace x with what? Y with x. So we are going to say this is equal to, where there is y, you put x minus 1 over 2. Okay? And this is the f inverse of x. F inverse of x. This is how we go about this equation. Okay? You will replace f of x with y. That's the first thing. Then you make x subject of the what? Of the equation. Then you replace y with x. That's all. Alright, let's look at the second equation. So B, we have B here, and B is asking us to do what? Find gf of x. Okay, find the gf of x. We have x minus 2. Okay, so they want us to find gf of x. Alright, how do we find the gf of x? So according to B, we have two functions. We have g and we have f. Okay, g and f. How do we go about it? First thing, take the function which is, take the first function, the one which is in the front. In this case, the one which is in the front is what? Is g. So you are going to start with g, the first one. Then in the function of g, wherever there is x, replace it with the function of what? Of f. That's what this function means. All right, let's solve. So we have g is here. So g of x is 3 over x minus 2. So we have g of x is equal to 3 over x minus 2. Now, when we get the function of g, wherever there is x in the function of g, replace that x with the next function, which is what? F. Okay? So g is this one. Then where there is x, we replace it with the function of what? F. Where is the function of f? It's this one. We've already been given in the question. So we are going to have g f of x is equal to, we get g, which is this one, 3 over, where there is x, we replace x with the function of what? Of f now. F is 2x plus 1. So we are going to replace this x with 2x plus 1, which is the function of what? Of f, the second function here. Then minus 2. This minus 2 here, we are going to have it because everything here we've just replaced this x, but we have minus 2 here. So this is how it's going to be. Then we are going to say, to simplify it, so it's going to be 3 over, this is 2x plus 1 minus 2. Okay, when we get rid of the brackets, then it's going to be 3 over, this is 2x, 1 minus positive 1 minus 2. This is negative 1. So this is g f of x, and this is the final answer. Okay, so as simple as that. Then let's look at the last question. So we have been asked also to find the gf of negative 2. Okay, gf of negative 2. All right, so we are just from finding gf of x. Now they are asking gf of negative 2. So what was our answer? We found gf of x as 3 over 2x minus 1. The one we are just from answering, this one. Now, they ask us gf of negative 2. When you look at these two, you will find that these two are actually the same. Both are gf. That's how both are starting, right? They are starting with g, then ending with f. The only difference is on the first one we had x, but on the second one the x has been replaced with what? With negative 2. The rest, all these others are just what? Are just same. So what does this imply? This simply means we are going to get this function. Then the one we found, wherever there is x, we are going to replace that x with what? With negative 2, because that's what this question implies. Okay? So we are going to get the answer that we got from question B. Then where there is x, we replace it with whatsoever is in the brackets. In this case, it's 2. We replace it with 2. This means if this question you got it wrong, even this one you get it what? Wrong, because the answer of this is the one that we are using to find the last one. Okay? So this is g f of x. So we are going to say, this is now C. We are dealing with C. G f of negative 2 is equal to, this is g f of x. So g f of negative 2 will be 3 over 2. Wherever there is x, we replace it with what? With negative 2. Where there is x, we replace it with negative 2. So it will be negative 2 minus 1. So this will be 3 over, this is 2 multiplied by negative 2. This is what? This is negative 4 minus 1. So this is going to be 3 over, this is negative 5. So it will be like this. Negative 3 over 5. And this is the what? This is the final answer. Alright, so this is how we answer functions. Don't forget to subscribe and like